Konnichi, what's up guys, and welcome to the big event of the year for Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Princess. Now in its 6th year and a culmination of lots of storylines that have been taking place in the company. We have 9 matches to run down, but before I get into the details behind each one, there is a bit of housekeeping that I feel I should address. Number 1, and I feel like we should get the elephant out of the room straight away. Hey guys, it's Critical here. Just want to let you know that the Maki Ito situation is crazy. Maki Ito is no longer signed with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. At the Princess Cup final show, Ito had her last ever match in the company, losing to Yuki Arai. It was not known at the time that this would be Ito's last appearance, as it was announced later in the week. But eagle-eyed viewers were able to spot something was off. Instead of flipping off her opponent at the end of the match, as Ito is wont to do, she instead gave a pinky promise to Arai. The same kind of promise she gave to Natsumi Maki the last time the two faced off and Natsupoi was on the way out. There was also Yamashita looking visibly upset as she helped Ito out of the ring, and Ito's remarks of "she gave it her all" in the backstage promo. And then 2 days later, the announcement was made that Ito had not continued her contract with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Now, we will probably never know the details as to why the contract was not re-signed, and we probably never will. I'm not one to speculate, nor do I want to be. In terms of Ito's future, I think it's still very bright. She is immensely popular and already has booking dates in America and elsewhere later this year. So, she will be fine. Whether Teej will be, I don't even want to think about it. Ito was undoubtedly instrumental in the promotion being noticed overseas and getting more popular. With her gone, I'm worried if people will continue to care and unsubscribe from Wrestle Universe, or worse, not attend Teej shows when they tour in the West. And I also worry if this is a sign of how well Teej is performing financially, that even though they are backed by a big conglomerate like Cyberfight, if this was about money, could they really not afford to keep one of their most popular attractions? I don't want to think about it. And I also feel pretty upset that there was no graduation or special farewell show, instead of just waking up and finding out that it's all over. My biggest hope, and this may sound real cringe, but I just want everyone to remain friends and no bad blood be spilled over this. Just have an occasional Twitter post of Ito hanging out with Camille or everyone meeting up for ice cream one Friday. I would honestly be opposed to an AEW signing for Ito simply because of how they are utilizing, or not rather, Yuka Sakazaki. And as for WWE, I would like to take a short excerpt from DDT WordPress on the matter. Quote, "They would get brownie points online for signing Ito to even just a WWID deal, but what is that worth really? A bunch of blue tick accounts pretending to know Ito's career highlights along with a new entrance song produced by Def Rebel. Come on, she's worth more than that." End quote. Anyway, let's keep the bad news rolling. Haruna Neko is graduating from Teej. She will actually get a farewell show and be able to say goodbye to the fans. Sorry, still bitter. So, Haruna Neko returned from injury, but then was injured again just as fast. It was another tear to her right ACL. She has since gotten surgery and is recovering, but that means she will not be able to wrestle in her farewell event, thus putting an end to her time in Teej and wrestling in general, as she will be officially retiring from the profession. Maybe being a black cat was bad luck for Haruna. But if you would like to express some farewell messages to Haruna, I have a link to a form where your message will be delivered to Haruna. I'm not in charge of this, so I hope the campaign has not ended yet, but if you do, there you go. One last graduation. This time for TJPW alumni Yu, who was former Princess of Princess champion way back in 2018. She has decided to hang up her wrestling boots by the end of the year, but before then we'll have one more match in Teej at the latest Inspiration show, teaming with Yuki Kamifuku against Miyu Yamashita and Shoko Nakajima. I'm glad that this is happening because from my own very brief personal experience with Yu, I felt she didn't really think too fondly of her time in Teej. My source is completely anecdotal and reading way too much into social situations, but I am glad to see Yu back in the pink ring one last time. Is there anything else? God, please no. If there's one more piece of bad news, I fear I may burst into tears. Oh! Teej are doing a special collab with Kamata Katamari Damacy, with special merch of Suzume, Yuki Arai, Mizuki, and Arisa Endo dressed up as the prince to advertise the new game. Unfortunately, these designs will not be used in the game. Anyway, how about we start talking about Wrestle Princess? To kick off, we have a opening tag match of Suzume and Ren Kanatsu versus Uta Takami and Mei Suruga. Mei Suruga returns once again, returning to team with Uta Takami once more after over a year. The two have yet to decide on a proper tag team name, and I have actually been really impressed with Uta lately. She had back-to-back singles matches with Rika Tatsumi and Princess of Princess champion Mizuki in the same day, looking great both times. Their opponents are also quite close, with Ren being a fan of Suzume before joining Teej, so it will be two veterans and their fangirls fighting it out for supremacy. After that, we have a match for the Iron Man Heavy Metal Weight Championship in a Battle Royale. It's champion Pokotan versus Shino Suzuki, Raku, Mifu Ishida, Pom Harajuku, Kirosama, Mahiro Kiryu, Chicken Anase, and Ram Kaicho. I do enjoy recapping the legacy of the Iron Man Championship and how it got here. As we know, since we last left off, the champion was Mizuki's Pico Pico Hammer, who then lost it to Sanshiro Takagi. Kazumi Sumi won it off Takagi at a Rojo show, who then lost it to Uni 4 days later. Sumi got it back at the Galfest, but then lost it to Shunma, who then lost it to idol Reni Takagi, no relation to Sanshiro, who then lost it to 12-year-old idol Juri Suzy. Is it ethical for a 12-year-old to be a performing idol? Well, the jury's out on that one. Anyway, this set up a battle royale at the Princess Cup finals, but before the match, Ram Kaicho appeared and challenged Juri to an arm wrestling contest, as apparently Juri is quite strong for her age. Kaicho was able to beat her really easily, and was thus crowned the new Iron Man champion, but still had to take part in the battle royale. She lost it to Mahiro Kiryu to thunderous applause, who then lost it to Juri after help from Yamashita. Backstage, DDT's mascot Pokotan pinned Juri for his third reign with the belt and has held it ever since. Did you get that? Of all participants, Mahiro and Kaicho are ones to watch for wanting the title more than anyone else. Then we have a special singles match of Aja Kong versus Himawari. A kind of rematch, which is the best kind of rematch. At the Princess Cup final show, Aja Kong and Himawari faced off in a tag match. Himawari was quite slippery, being able to avoid Aja's trash can, but her whip hair was ineffective against Aja. Hopefully that's not the reason for the match, and Aja doesn't swat Himawari away like a fly. Next we have another special singles match of Rika Tatsumi versus Priscilla Kelly. Priscilla Kelly returns to Tokyo Joshi. She has not appeared since 2018, going for Miyu Yamashita's Princess title, before never being heard from again. As I recall from her time in Teej, she was very intimate, licking faces and the like as a way to unnerve her opponents. She may need to do a lot more than that to unnerve her opponent Rika Tatsumi though, who is more than comfortable with choking her opponents and anyone else for that matter. This will be a kind of rematch, which is the best kind of rematch, as Priscilla's first match in Teej was a tag team match teaming against Rika. Let's see what nearly a decade of wrestling has done for the two. After that, we have a tag match of Hiryo Matsumoto and Yuki Arai versus Toga and Harukazu Shiro, long ago in the far-off year of 2018. Why are there so many narrative threads for these matches linked to 2018? There was a program known as Tofu Pro Wrestling. It was a drama that used AKB48 and SKE48 idols that focused on pro wrestling. Yuki Arai was featured on the program, and it is actually the reason she was able to win the Iron Man Heavy Metal Weight Championship and face Ito, way before she even signed with Teej. The intertwining between Tofu Pro Wrestling and TJPW is quite interesting and involved, to be honest. Anyway, one of the trainers for Tofu Pro Wrestling was Hiryo Matsumoto. Now master and student team up against off-again and on-again tag partners. Toga and Haru are the latest rookie team that have bright futures ahead, like with Suzume and Arisu, with them going for the tag titles, but after Toga went one-on-one with Yuna Manase, the two have formed a tag team with each other and are going for the tag titles against whoever is victorious at Wrestle Princess, but the last time Toga and Haru met in the ring was against each other, with Toga coming out on top. Hopefully that is not on their minds as they team with each other now. Then we have a tag match of Miyu Yamashita and Kayatori Bami versus Yuki Aino and Ryu Mizunami. Yamashita is trying to fill an Ito-shaped hole in her chest ever since her 1-to-million partner left Teej, trying out Toga, Haru, Kirasama, and Kayatori Bami, with Kaya being the most winning choice, and hopefully Kaya is able to learn from her senpai and move up the card and challenge for a Teej belt. They will need to really rally together against their opponents who are former Princess Tag Champions. Aniki and Yuki last teamed when they actually lost the tag belts. In fact, the last time they interacted was at last year's Princess Cup final with Aniki beating Yuki to win the tournament, so maybe this kind of ring rust could be an advantage to Yamashita and Kaya. Next, it's time for the International Princess Championship match. It's Arisu Endo versus Jada Stone. At SummerSlam, Princess Moki Miyamoto was able to conquer Suzume to win her first championship in Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, and prove that she can hang with the rest of the class of '99. Unfortunately, shortly after that, Moka would become ill and be unable to make appearances since, ultimately forcing her to relinquish the title. We don't know the actual condition of Moka, just that she is recovering from an illness. Hopefully it's nothing too severe and she returns soon. Lord knows my frail heart could not take another graduation this year. So a match has been made to crown the next champion. After being runner-up at this year's Princess Cup, Arisu is primed to take this belt and start to make a name for herself. Arisu arguably had the hardest run in the tournament, beating Hyper Misao, Yamashita, and Yuki Arai, before falling to Watanabe. I honestly thought she would win, but alas it was not meant to be. Speaking of bees, Jada Stone will have her third chance for the belt, going against Arisu's Daisy Monkey teammate Suzume when she was champ twice. Will it be third time lucky for Jada? This is a last minute update. Turns out Jada Stone is injured. She cannot make an appearance at Wrestle Princess, so instead they are reshuffling the card so that it is Priscilla Kelly who will be going for the International Championship against Arisu, where now Rika Tatsumi's opponent will be Pom Harajuku in a gimmick match where they have Pom and Rika have two flags opposite sides and they can bring their own weapons to the match, but you're only allowed to use the weapons if you steal your opponent's flag. Okay? Okay. After that, we have a tag match for the Princess Tag titles. It's Shoko Nakajima and Hyper Misao of Kyokami Kyomei versus Yuki Kamifuku and Wakana Uhura of Oba Eats. At the Princess Cup final show, Wakana shocked everyone by pinning Hyper Misao and took it upon herself to challenge Kakyomi Kyomei on her and Kamiyu's behalf. Kamiyu appreciated how brazen Wakana was and waited for a response. Misao countered that they had already beaten both of them in Las Vegas earlier this year, so why would they get another shot? But admitted she was pinned, so we'll let the challenge go ahead, with Shoko threatening that they get back at them 100 times worse. And oh, did Shoko not know how true those words would be. During a triple tag match of champs versus challengers, Misao would smash Wakana in the face with her knee, causing Wakana to lose and break 3 of her teeth before pinning her. Wakana would not be able to make any more wrestling show appearances until Wrestle Princess as she recovered. I don't want to make this a point for the storyline of the match, as it was clearly an accident, and I don't think it will play into the championship match at all, but I do want to draw attention to how well everyone handled the situation with forgiveness and understanding. With Kamiyu explaining that they are friends first, opponents second, Wakana using it as motivation, and Misao quite poignantly saying, quote, "Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling is not a promotion where dangerous acts or injuries are badges of honor," end quote. Why this girl's so nice, it makes me sick. Yeah. Shoko was suspiciously quiet though, probably psyching herself up for a singles match against Kamiyu for her MLW championship. Shoko was able to retain her championship and celebrate with a big slice of pizza. Or perhaps it was regular size for us. At the press conference, Kamiyu notes that the tag titles were introduced around the same time she debuted, but she has never come close to winning them, and now thinks with Wakana is her best chance. While Misao comments that she is dead set on beating the Magical Sugar Rabbit's record for most offenses, and Nakajima taunting Wakana that if she can't bite a big kaiju, she has no hope of winning this match. Finally, it's time for your main event for the Princess of Princess Championship. It's champion Mizuki versus challenger Miyu Watanabe. At the Princess Cup, Watanabe finally won by beating Arisa Endo. After coming up short in 2022 against Yuka Sakazaki, she now has another chance to get back her Princess title. And holding the trophy up high now has washed away any regret she had when she lost that match all those years ago. When Mizuki came down to the ring to confront her next challenger for the belt, she congratulated Watanabe for becoming a princess, but is still a monster. As you may recall, the big match that kicked off this year was Watanabe vs Mizuki for the Pop title, with Mizuki winning, after suggesting in pre-match interviews that Watanabe is a monster that must be captured. Now the roles are reversed, with Miyu vying for the belt. During the Champs vs Challengers match, Watanabe was flung to the outside, and instead of Mizuki following up, she offered her hand to Watanabe. Watanabe rejected it and then sarcastically offered her hand to Mizuki instead. Also in the match, Mizuki tried everything she could to stop Watanabe's giant swing, and Watanabe trying to avoid Mizuki's high flying. It will be a true speed versus power matchup in this championship match. At the press conference, Mizuki was dubbed the Pro Princess and Watanabe as Miyu Cinderella, with a promotional poster having both of them in princess gowns, though it looks more like a wedding event. Good for them. If you would like to see the roles reversed, Teej has put the Mizuki vs Miyu match from January 4th on YouTube for free until after Wrestle Princess. Wrestle Princess 6 will stream live from Ota Ward on the 20th of September exclusively on Wrestle Universe, with English commentary from Haku-san, Belly and Aki, Pumi, Kirasama, and Fumorin. Honestly, this has been a real rocky year for Teej, with so many graduations and departures to injuries and illnesses, but this looks like a fantastic show with lots of great stories surrounding it. I think it will be fun, and for my engagement, what matches are you looking forward to? So let's all enjoy Teej together, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta.